put one hole at the top of a number bond. Okay, you got that much done?
Yeah.
And then the number that's listed here, 1/4, put in the first circle at the bottom. Okay? Now all I have to figure out is what do I add to 1/4 to make one whole? Jared,
3/4.
how'd you figure it out? 1 plus 3 equals 4? Okay, now there's a little trick. See 1/4? Are you ready for this? I can just do 4 minus 1. What's that?
3.
So I know that 3 will be my numerator. Kind of clever, huh? Let's try one that's harder. Let's try 3/8, the one at the bottom. I'm going to write it. You don't have to. Just put your pencils down. Okay? So let's say if I have 3/8 here, okay, all I have to do, are you watching or are you playing around? All I have to do is 8 minus 3. What is it?
5.
So it would be 5/8. Okay, so do you know how to do these?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to pull sticks. We know 2 of them already, don't we? 3/4 and 5/8. Okay, block 2. So what's the next one, Jaylee?
4/1.
Right here?
4/5.
4/5, very good. And the next one, Eileen?
8/10.
Good. And Morgan?
2/3.
I've pulled only girl sticks so far. Let's see how long this continues. Cody, what's the next one?
2/5.
Okay. And Oziel?
9.
Good. Tyler? Yasmin?
1/7.
Very good. Okay, let's go to the next page. This is the application problem. So I'm going to read it. So put your pencils down while I read it, please. This bothers me because it changes from present tense to past tense. Leslie has 1 liter of milk in her refrigerator to drink today. She drank 1/2 liter of milk before breakfast and 2/5 liter of milk for dinner. How much of a liter did Leslie drink during breakfast and dinner? Okay, what are we going to do? Add the 2 together. So, starting right now, we're going to write it a different way. So I want you to write 1/2 plus 2/5 and 3 equal signs. Are you ready? Instead of, you know when I multiply these together?
Yeah.
Instead of putting that here, I want to put it at the bottom. Okay? So then I'm going to put a 10 below each of these. And all I did, boys and girls, was move it from the first line to the bottom line. And you'll see why in the lesson today. Okay? And then nothing else changes. I'm still going to write my fractions. And I'm still going to multiply. Okay? So what fractions do I put on the lines, Isaac? What goes here?
1/2.
Okay, and what goes here?
2/5.
2/5. Okay. And what am I going to multiply by, Jarrett? What am I going to multiply 1/2 by? 5. Good. And what about 2/5, Jarrett? What am I going to multiply it by?
2.
Good. So I've got 5/10 and 4/10. Then I'm going to write 5/10 plus 4/10 down here. And that gives me 9/10. So how much erase that circle. That is not my answer. The question says, oh no, it is. How much of a liter did Leslie drink during breakfast and dinner? 9/10. Now here's the extension. How much of a liter does she have left to drink with her dessert? Now everybody draw this. So how much of a liter does she have left? 1/10. Now it gets better, so I'm going to write 1/10 here. Now it says give your answer as a fraction of a liter and a decimal. Hold on. So 1/10 of a liter. And then how am I going to write that as a decimal? Raise your hand if you know. Morgan.
0.1.
You got it. Nice job. Very soon you're going to learn how to change a fraction to a decimal because I'm going to show you. All right? But it's not part of any lesson yet, but I might show you at the end of the lesson today. Okay, let's look at the lesson. So problem 1, it actually has A and B. Okay. So I'm going to start with 3 equal signs. And you're going to start with 3 equal signs. I don't know why you're not writing it. Now, when we estimate, we're really just going to use our knowledge of how big we think that numerator is to decide if it's more or less than 1 whole. So write the problem down here under the estimate for a minute. And then I'm going to draw, I like circles when I'm thinking about 1 whole. And the reason I like circles is because I like pizza. Just kidding. Okay, so you don't have to draw the circles, but you can. But here's what I'm thinking. If I have 1/3 plus 1/4, I don't think it's going to be a whole pizza, do you?
No.
No. So that will be less than 1 whole. What you have to write is less than 1 whole. Okay? So we're going to see if this estimate is correct. Our answer should be less than 1 whole. Okay, so 3 times 4, what is it?
12.
Remember, I'm going to write that down here. We're changing where we write it, and you'll see why in a minute. The rest of it is the same. So do you want to go ahead and try and finish this problem?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm going to pause it. Okay, so Sergio, what did you write on this line right here where I'm pointing? Times. Okay. And Caitlin, what did you write on this line?
I wrote 1/4 times 3 equals 3/12.
Good. So you got 7/12 for your answer, and was our estimate correct?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So now let's do it again, okay? This time, write the problem, and I am going to draw the pizzas again, and I am going to shade the parts, and I'm going to think about more or less than 1 whole. So the shaded part, okay, is what I'm talking about. Is more or less than 1 whole shaded if I combine those circles? Yeah, which way? Which way? More or less?
More.
More. So now I'm going to do it the opposite way. This problem is larger than 1 whole pizza. That's a lot of pizza. Okay, let's solve it to find out exactly what it is. So you need your 3 equal signs. Okay, oh my. And where am I going to put my new denominator? At the bottom. And you're going to go ahead and solve this on your own? Okay. And I want you to stop when you get your answer. Don't go any further than that. So this is actually a doozy of a first problem, okay? Because I've got an improper fraction, so I know it's more than one whole. A fraction whose numerator is more than the denominator is more than one whole. So we've got to figure this out. One way to do it, everybody write 10/8 down here with a fourth set of equal signs. Everybody write it. Okay? One way to do it is to take out one whole. So I really need more room, so hold on a minute. I'm going to erase some things. Erase this other problem. Okay, so what I bet you've guessed it, I'm going to put a number bond here. Okay? So right here, I've got 10/8. Everybody put it. Now I'm going to take out one whole. So what would one whole be? 8/8. So what am I going to add to 8/8 to get 10/8?
2/8.
So this is my answer. One whole plus 2/8. And on Zern, they're going to write it like this, so you might as well get used to it. And I barely had enough room, but I think you can see it. And if you can't see, just move. Right? Okay. So I've got 1 and 2/8 for my answer. But guess what? I'm not done. That's why I said this is a doozy. 2/8 can be simplified. 1/4. What did you divide by to get 1/4? 2. So I'm going to write 1 and 2/8 up here because I don't have any more room. You might have room at the bottom, but I don't. Okay? So 1 and 2/8, okay? I'm going to divide both of these by 2. So that's going to give me 1. And what's 2 divided by 2?
1.
And what's 8 divided by 2?
4.
So that's my final answer. 1 and 1/4 is more than one whole, isn't it? Okay. That's the only one we have to simplify today.
That's a big one.
Okay, let's keep working. Okay, now I think your problems are on separate pages, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mine are on the same, so I'll just erase between. Okay, so problem 2. You ready for it?
Yeah.
We're going to start by estimating. Everybody write it down. I think I'm going to switch over to brownies. So this is 4/5, right?
Yes.
I'm going to try and make my pan of brownies the same size. And this is 1/2. So, do you think I'm more than one whole pan of brownies if I were to combine these?
Yes.
I do too. So greater than one whole. Now I need my 3 equal signs. Do you want to try and solve it and then we'll check it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pause it. All right, so Fernanda, happy birthday, by the way. What did you write on this first row here?
4/5
Times,
to
equals.
8.
And you don't have to say 2/2 or anything. You can just say 4/5 times 2. Okay? And Alan, what did you write on the second row?
1/2 times 5.
Good. And what does that equal?
5/10.
5/10. So 8/10 plus 5/10 equals.
13.
Okay, now we're going to change that to a mixed number. This is not called simplifying. Okay? This is Changing it from an improper fraction, look over here. Changing it from an improper fraction to a mixed number. That's all we're doing. Okay? So do you remember how we did that with the number bond? If I have 13/10, I'm going to take out what? 1 whole. What would 1 whole be? 10/10. Then, what do I have left over? And you don't have to write your number bond. This is our number bond. So I have 1 whole, correct?
Yes.
And 3/10. That's my final answer. Okay? How you doing? All right. Let's do problem 3. Okay, back to the pan of brownies, don't you think?
Yeah.
I'm going to make them a little bigger so the kids in back can see. So if I've got 2/3 of a pan of brownies, and I have 3/5 of a pan of brownies, oh, that's going to be close. You think it's more?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go with more than 1 whole. Right? Okay, get your 3 equal signs and set your problem up to be solved on the very last one. 3 times 5 equals?
15.
Okay. So go ahead and solve this, and then we will check it together. And then we'll change it to a mixed number together.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm going to pull sticks here. Lila, what'd you write on the first row?
2/3 times 5.
Good. Yep. And Jesus, what'd you write on the second row?
3/5 times 3.
Okay, so I have 10/15 plus 9/15, 19/15. So my next step is to rewrite that. And then we're going to take out 1 whole. Tyler, what would 1 whole be? 15/15 plus how many more? OZL? 4/15 equals 1 and 4/15. And circle your answer. How are we doing?
Good.
Okay. So let's go to the final problem. Finally, I have room to write it. Okay. So do you want to do this start to finish on your own? Write your estimate, figure it out? Okay, I'm going to pause it. Okay, boys and girls, what was your estimate? More or less than 1 whole? Okay, so the alligator would eat the problem, right? Okay. So what did, Adam, what did you write on this first line?
I wrote 3/8 times 3.
Good. Equals
9.
9/24. Lillian, what did you write on the second row?
2/3 times 8 equals 16.
Very good. Jaden, what was your answer?
25, 24.
Yep. Okay, Ryder, you're the last stick. So tell me what 1 whole would be, Ryder.
24.
Okay. Plus
Plus 1
equals.
1.
Very good. Okay, that's lesson 4. Now, can you imagine if you would have been drawing shapes and shading?
No reason.
So what do you need to tell me?
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. I didn't want to draw the shapes 4 times today either.